I was listening to a business podcast the other morning, and something that was said really stood out to me that I wanted to expand on. And what they said was pain and struggle is a part of life. And if you don't create your pain and struggle, it will find you. Meaning that whether it's in your job, in your work, in your relationships, if you're not picking those things out, worst case scenario, say you try to keep from doing anything in life, then your struggle is going to be severe depression or anxiety or some type of mental health problem that's going to develop. That really got me thinking how often it is that families, moms and dads, try to protect us. I'm no stranger to this. I know that my mom and dad set out to create a better life for their children than they had, and to hopefully protect them from as much pain and struggle as possible. But it's really hard to find a line of what struggle is good for a kid to experience, is good for a young adult to experience, and is good for an adult to experience. Now, there are things that are not good and that if anyone was given the chance, they should protect us from. But there is pain and struggle that we should have to face. I am a believer that one of the biggest issues that we have today is entitlement. And a lot of the people that we work with, a lot of the people that struggle with substance use disorder also have entitlement issues and are terrified of pain and struggle. And a lot of the substance use came from this place of numbing out because maybe they didn't know how to face it head on and navigate that emotion or those feelings. So I think the question becomes instead of asking yourself, how can I protect my kid from all pain and struggle? I think it should be, which pain and struggle is going to be really good for my kid to experience? If you see a child struggling to get up on a sofa, like they're on the floor, they want to get up in the seat, in the chair, or in that sofa, and you see them trying and squirming and trying everything that they can to claw their way up to that seat. And so you don't help them, and then they eventually get it, and you'll see that child like look back at you and just throw a grin up, like ear to ear grin of, look what I just did. They are experiencing so much pride and joy in their accomplishment. And it's, again, just so important for parents to recognize, what is protecting my kid and what is teaching my kid perseverance and working through difficult things. Something that's not going to harm them in any serious way, but as a struggle may be really good for them. Now, what I don't know is how we change our direction here, because I think as time has gone on, things have gotten easier for us as humans in general. Like we've gone from no air conditioning, no electricity, to now we have lights, we have air conditioning, we have cable television, now we have many computers in our pockets everywhere we go. Our access to the world is just being increased exponentially. And not only is life getting easier in that way, but again, going back, we've had great-great-great-grandparents to their kids, then to their kids, then to theirs, and eventually us living today. That family tree has continued to make our lives easy. And we always want for our kid a better life than what we had. I think that that's not a really selfish thing. I think it's a good thing to want for your family better than what you've experienced or better than what you've had. That's a very selfless thing to want. However, I think that gets in the way so often of letting a young adult develop perseverance, develop grit, and a work ethic, and we're robbing them of things along the way. So we have to figure out, where's the counterbalance? What can we do to balance the scales here? And obviously protect our family, protect our kids, but to also allow them pain and struggle so that they work hard, so that they have more achievements, more success throughout life. Because if we keep down the path of, hey, I'm accomplishing all of your goals for you, but I'm making life so much easier for you, life's going to get really hard for them when you're gone, when they don't have that person who's swooping in to save the day anymore. So it's something that provoked a lot of thought in me, and that I just wanted to put out there to provoke thought in you. Hey, this is something to start thinking about. And you see this on a whole nother level when it comes to substance use disorder. And because if someone's in active addiction, oftentimes they've become very manipulative, and they're wanting the family to enable them, or want their loved ones to enable them. And it can become this very toxic relationship to where you're swooping in to save the day all the time for that addicted loved one. So it's so important to recognize it when we're talking about it on that level of when is too much. What is too much? Like, what is helping and what is enabling, and what's the difference between the two of those? And being honest with yourself about that, even if you don't think, oh, my kid can't go out and get a job right now, or they're not capable of understanding car insurance and paying that. Like, give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, if they're old enough to get a job, we need to let them try that. Hopefully this video is just sparking some thought in you, and getting you to question from now on, like, what's enabling my kid and what may be holding them back versus what's allowing them to struggle a little bit and figure it out on their own. And again, I'd also like to throw out there that I'm not having these conversations, or I'm not sitting back here talking into a microphone like I never experienced any of this stuff and no one else should be doing it because I didn't do it. I'm having these conversations to keep someone else from making the same mistakes that I made, or that my family helped me make. I mean, they enabled me to degrees. And I think that kept me in that active addiction longer than it had to be, because I didn't have people putting a firm foot down and allowing me that struggle.